Hello and welcome to MRETA Art Studio. Today we're going to do how to make and use a grid when drawing. And your supply list of things you're going to need today. There's a smooth and a rough side to your paper. You want to make sure you start out with the right side before you start your gridding. We're going to be doing 1-inch squares, vertical and horizontal on the piece, the whole length and width of the paper. You want to use a copy of the image that you're going to be doing because you're going to be drawing on the top of it to grid 1-inch squares as well. You want to go equal ratio, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 1.5, 2 inch, 2 inch, and so on. Depends on how big of a piece of paper that you've got. Make sure that you line up your ruler so that everything is square. And I usually measure in 2 or 3 spots across the paper, both horizontally and vertically, to make sure that everything does line up like it's supposed to. Metal rulers can bend, so that's part of the reason, but they are the most durable rulers out there. Wood rulers can get like chips and cracks in them, and they get kind of rough on the edges and they won't make a sharp line. So many artists use just the metal rulers in their work. Whenever I was doing this gridding, I ended up noticing that the pad of paper that I bought from the store was skewed on the right side, and I hadn't realized that before. So I had to go back and had to erase. And if you have something like this that happens, it doesn't happen often, but when you do have something like that that does happen, make a on your left hand side, make sure that it's square and measure across and make your final mark on the right hand side for where you want your image to stop. And then whatever's left of that paper, whether it be, a 1/2 inch in one area or an inch in another, it's not going to matter. Just as long as you leave yourself, I would give yourself about a 1/2 inch on that side, actually all around your drawing, so that you can take it in to any copy place and they can scan it in and make prints of however big or small that you're going to want it, but it's going to give them leeway for whenever they make the prints for you, and that's really important. Otherwise, you're getting into your image. And if you have an image that goes edge to edge, then you're cutting something off. See, I'm marking a 1-inch grid here. This is for my vertical lines. And with this, you can go as heavy or as light as you want. With me, I'm heavy-handed, so I'm also a lefty, so I tend to smear your projects, and that's my projects because I go, from my left to my right, and your hands get really messy when you're a lefty. That's the reason why we use like a piece of paper underneath of your hand, and you work from the opposite of whatever hand that you are. So I should be drawing from my right side to my left side, but sometimes that doesn't work out. Just depends on what I'm drawing. This tape here is artist tape. You can get 3 of these in a package. I got them off of Amazon, and they are an archival tape that you can put on the edge of your drawing to mask it off. So if you're using solvent or watercolor, gouache, it goes up against the edge of it, it's not going to spill out past that white line. It's going to give you a nice crisp edge. The masking tapes, they are not archival. They have acid in them, and that acid does transfer to the paper when you use it. So be aware of that whenever you're doing your drawings. This is just a regular, like a cover sheet that you would put like a resume or something in, or for a different project. And I took a Sharpie and outlined a 1-inch grid on the outside of it, so that you could put pictures on the inside like I was doing there. And that way it's already gridded for you, so you're not actually drawing on what you want to have your picture, because sometimes you can only get one picture. And this is to use if you were using it on something larger. You can also cut those open. It's better to use something like that than acetate and just tape it down. Acetate can get really expensive. Here's the paper that we used today. And we're going to want to tape that down to our board like you're going to see in a second. I want to thank you guys for joining me today, and please like and subscribe to Mretta Art Studio. Have a great day.